This series is an introduction to Unity VR using the Unity V5 game engine. It covers all the steps required to create a Unity 3D scene and deploy it to some specific VR devices. We'll start with building the basic objects needed to create the city beachfront, specifically this block of the beachfront. We're going to create the water, the beach, a seawall, the roads, and the buildings themselves. Now, they're not going to look exactly like these buildings. It's going to be a much more simplified version of the beachfront, but it's enough to give us the general idea. Once we've created the buildings, we'll assemble them into the scene, and then once we have the scene, we're going to create a main character. Actually, a couple of main characters. Let me just frame here. If I can pick on that car, I'm going to zoom in with the scroll wheel. There we go. Now I'm going to press F to frame. So we're going to build this car, and in addition to this car, we're going to have a first-person controller that can walk about the city. Then we're going to implement the VR controller for a plug-in based VR system, specifically Google's Cardboard. And we'll move on to the built-in VR systems, specifically Samsung's Gear VR/Oculus. We'll look at the implementation of the Cardboard Gaze interface and see how that can be easily repurposed to work with built-in systems. Of course, you can build your own Gaze interface, and that will probably be a big part of your VR game. There are several Gaze interfaces out there for Unity, but since we have the Cardboard interface built for us, it's very simple to incorporate it into the other VR platforms. Finally, we're going to look at the basics of deploying our VR scene to both the Cardboard and Samsung Gear VR on their respective supported platforms and devices.